Tonight I'll be making my version of refried beans. And I know you can buy these in a can or at a restaurant, but after I made these myself, I love them this way. And I just kind of, one Sunday, I didn't really have anything to eat and I was going to make some pinto beans, and then I just kind of come up with this and I smashed them up and it was so good. I've made it one other time and then this will be the third time. I'm going to be making tostadas, and I've talked about that in my grocery bag video. What I do is I just take the corn tortilla, the 365 brand, or you can get the Food for Life brand's good. That's the Ezekiel, I believe. Or you can get a low carb flour tortilla if you want to do that. Or you can just eat these by themselves. But what I'm going to do is put the refried beans on it instead of meat for me, and I'm going to do meat for Joe, and probably some beans as well. And then I've got some sauteed vegetables over here. Crisp up the tortilla, just spray it with a little cooking spray, and then after you crisp that up, you just load it up with whatever toppings you'd like. I'm going to do the beans, the vegetables, and probably salsa, and that's about it. It was really good the last times we've had this, and it's something really easy, and you can change it up to suit your taste. But I'm going to be showing you how to make the refried beans. First, you'll need a can of pinto beans. Then you'll need some garlic. I add probably a tablespoon of garlic in there because I love garlic, but you can add more or less or omit it. I have probably 1/4 of a cup of onion. This is just something I had left over. You can use more or less, or you could use onion powder, or you can leave that out, but I think it gives a good flavor, and I love red onion. Also, you will need chili powder. Then you'll have cumin. I usually put either equal parts of this or a little more chili powder than the cumin. The cumin has, I guess, on TV they say a smoky flavor, but it pairs really well with the chili powder and in these refried beans. I don't know how authentic this is, but it tastes good, and it tastes like refried beans to me. Then what's crazy is I'm going to add a little Cajun seasoning or some of the Frank's Red Hot sauce, just because I like things spicy. Then you'll need a pot, and you can put a little bit of olive oil or olive oil spray or any kind of cooking spray you have in the bottom. I have that in there already, and a spatula. And I will show you the next step. The first thing you're going to want to do is saute your onions and your garlic. And I'm just eyeballing the measurement, so you can put whatever you like, as little as, or as much. Alright, then I'm going to just take this and just saute it up. You can hear it sizzling a little bit, but just make sure that the garlic does not burn, because it'll taste bitter and you don't want to have to start over, especially when you don't have but a little bit of onion like me. So I'm going to saute this up, and I will catch you on the next step. Okay, once you get the onions softened and a little bit translucent, you don't have to cook them all the way through because you're going to boil the beans and all of this. But I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there because I did rinse these beans some, and so it needs a little seasoning. Then you're going to add in your beans. This is just a 15-ounce can. Now you add in your beans, and then I'm going to add in, I have 2 cups of water here, but I'm going to probably just add about 1 cup. That's 1 cup of water. Then I'm going to take the cumin, and it's probably going to be about a tablespoon of each will be good, but you can do this to taste. Add a little bit, taste the broth in just a few minutes. And I'm going to add about the same amount of chili powder. Then I'm going to add in some of the Creole seasoning, and I'm going to do the hot sauce when I get it finished. Like when I'm done, I can put it on top if I want it. So you just stir it around, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring this back to a boil. Let me get a spoon so I can taste this broth. I know it's cold, but needs a little more salt, and the flavors will concentrate as you're cooking as well. spoon. Alright, now you're just going to turn it up. You can just bring it back to a boil. I have my stove on 7. I'm going to bring this to a boil and just boil it like you would canned beans, and I will catch you on the next step. And also, if you wanted to add bell pepper to this, you could. I've done that before. I just didn't have any. But what you're going to do is basically try to reduce a good amount of this liquid and get the beans more tender. Okay, here they are when they're done boiling. As you can see, they're thick, but they still have some water in it. And when you smash up the beans, it'll make it even more thick, and you can smash it up to the consistency that you like. I'm going to take some of the hot sauce and just put a little bit in there, just to give it a little bit more heat. I'll stir this up. And just taste it as you go along to see if it's, got enough salt or cumin or paprika. But yeah, I guess about a tablespoon of each of those is pretty good, and then I needed to add some more salt. But then you take like a potato masher or whatever you have and just smash it up. I find that this one works better, the one with all the little holes. Just smash it. Just keep smashing it up. You got to kind of get in there and smush them up, and then as you go along, just keep stirring them, and as you can see, they'll get thicker. I may have put a little bit too much water in this, so maybe do about 3/4 of a cup, or you can let it boil a little bit longer so it'll boil out some of the water, and as it sits, it'll thicken up a little bit more as well. Okay, then you just take your spoon and then just kind of scrape up the bits on the bottom. Yeah, that looks really good. It's just a little thinner than I would like, but I'm gonna let it sit a little bit. You can always boil a little bit more beans, add in that if you'd like, but I'm going to be okay with this. I'm going to let it sit a little bit and thicken up. But see if you can see it. Those are my refried beans, and I will show you the finished product when I get the tostada put together, so you can see how I use these. Just wanted to show you that I put it back on the stove and put it on the heat, and look, it thickened right up. So if yours is a little bit thin, then just put it back on the heat, but keep stirring it or it'll burn on the bottom. Okay, there's the finished product. This is mine. It's the corn tortilla with the refried beans, cheese, the roasted sauteed vegetables, and a little bit of green onion on the top. And you can pair this with some either sour cream or salsa if you like. And here's the meat version. This is for Joe. This is just the same thing, but just meat added. And that is it. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer it. I'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.